Hi everyone, I'm here with Nick, who he's not at the protest, but he's been observing the protest from across the road. Long time Spurs fan, going back to the 60s.
Yeah, like 1969.
Wow. So as we were just having a chat, Nick, you said that you're kind of umming and ahhing, you're somewhere in the middle. You're not fully 100% behind the board, but you're not quite tempted to go over and stand with the protesters. You're somewhere in the middle. Explain your thinking and why you're kind of where you are as a fan.
Well, my thinking is we've got an amazing stadium.
Yeah.
Everything about us is right at the very, very top. But for some reason or other, there seems to be a problem with the team and the management. And I'm not entirely sure whether it's as black and white as Enoch or Daniel Levy are not back in the team. There's something, I just can't put my finger on it. And I really wish I could. I mean, that's a real sit on the fence kind of answer, I do understand.
That's your opinion, Nick.
But it just seems to me, in the summer, I'd like us to go for, say, James Maddison as the playmaker that we probably need.
Yeah.
And when Leicester start saying, right, well, he's 50 million or 60 million, and Newcastle and others are sniffing, I'd love us to just say, right, Newcastle bid 70, and we just don't even flinch and say, bang, 80, let's do the deal. But that just doesn't seem to happen for us. And lo and behold, one of the better or best playmakers around that we possibly will be available, we'll miss out on.
Who would you necessarily, I don't want to use the word blame, but if you were to blame somebody, who would you blame that on if we weren't prepared to pay that money?
Well, I think it has to be the club as a whole, the board or whatever.
Yeah.
Because they've obviously got a business model. And in terms of a business model, and I'm using the word business here as opposed to football, herein perhaps lies the problem. They've done a fantastic job. I mean, this stadium is stunning. But as I said when it was being built, and I was watching all the videos of the building and everything,
Yeah.
It's all well and good, but it will fall very flat if we haven't got the team to go in it. And it just seems that the only other thing is, if we do start going berserk with the money to get the best players, if it somehow doesn't gel on the pitch, do we then create a really dangerous financial situation where we can get ourselves in big trouble?
I want to. You make a good point, because we've seen with Chelsea, they're spending like 700 million, and they want to get Champions League, and there's conversation that actually these big deals that they've now laid out with the expensive signs they've made could come back to bite them. So listen, I think you make a really good point. The one thing I want to pick up on is something you said at the start of when we started doing the interview. You said that you don't know whether it's the manager or the board or where things are going wrong with the football team. When you hear stories of Jed Spence was a club signing, Dan Juma was a club signing loan, the club are thinking about giving Eric Dyer a 3-year contract. These things are all happening without the manager even here for next season. Do you not as a fan say, hold on a minute, that is on you, the board. What the hell are you playing at? I mean, surely the manager should come in, assess who he likes, who he doesn't like, and then give his recommendations of what players to sign.
Yeah, well, it seems there is some kind of disconnect along the line, and as you say, it's difficult not to point the finger at the top, because the very top is what controls it all. The structure should be that they're in charge, and then the director of football, if there is one, and the manager, and the scouts, everybody should all be singing from the same hymn sheet, so to speak.
Yeah.
But it feels almost as though it's just not quite happening. And ultimately, whatever's wrong, it's got to be the club. The hierarchy at the top. It's got to be, because they ultimately control it. They're the ones who sacked the Boris and Antonio Conte.
Sorry for the noise, guys. There's a cleaning cart in the background, so.
But yeah, something. As I say, I am conflicted, because they've given us the best of everything, but in so doing, they've also made the actual football and the team not what we want it to be. And that, obviously that's, I mean, really, if you gave me the choice, playing a poor home stadium, not that White Hart Lane, the old one was poor particularly, but if we went back to that and we won the league, then if you said to me, would you do that?
I think we'd all take that, Nick.
Yeah, would you do that tomorrow?
We'd all take that tomorrow.
I would do that tomorrow.
Oh, mate, win the league.
Without a doubt. So...
I've got one more question for you.
Okay, yeah.
Last one. I don't want to take up too much of your time. You kind of give me the feeling that you're a fan who believes that off the field, the owners have been fantastic. On the field, you're conflicted. With the appointment of Scott Munn, how do you see it? Do you see it as, oh, this is really good, he's come in to help us restructure the football side of things, or do you see it as it's just another layer, another shield of protection for Levy to blame someone if it doesn't work, and it's just another corporate suit that's getting involved and not really going to change much? It's more show than what it is impact.
I think obviously what I want is that he is the best appointment we've ever made, and he basically draws the whole lot together, so everybody's pulling in the same direction, and everything works out fantastically. But I've got a horrible feeling it's just going to be another appointment that just means we can tick over in the same kind of manner. But having said that, I think a lot of fans of a lot of other clubs might actually say...
Sorry guys, it got the... Great timing.
A lot of fans of a lot of other clubs are probably saying, you're fifth in the league, you want to try being us.
Do you know, when I hear people talk like that, my response to them is always, yeah, you make a good point, but we're a top six club. I compare us to the top six, and when I look at the top six in England, and maybe soon to be top seven if Newcastle carry on going the way they're going, or maybe they take our place, who knows. When I look at the top six, we're so far down at the bottom of it. We're not even close to touching the fifth place team out of the top six. So I think you've got to know your place as well.
I've got a problem with the top six, or the big six rather.
Yeah.
And that is, who actually decided there was a big six? What does it actually mean?
Mate, Sky Sports?
Yeah.
Sky Sports?
Probably. But do you see what I mean?
Media.
You know, I mean, they're talking about...
It's like top four's a trophy, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, let's be honest. It's been a poor season overall. Yet again, no trophy. But if we finish fourth, I'd far rather that than fifth, sixth, seventh, whatever else is potentially possible.
Absolutely.
But the only reason I want it is because it gives us the ability, potentially in the summer, to sign better players, because better players will say, well, you want me and you want me, you're in the Champions League and you're not. And that's the only reason.
When has that ever happened though? Whenever we ever got Champions League and then we've gone and bought really, really good players and said, wow, this is why we got top four. Well, it always seems a bit underwhelming, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. But I'm just using the James Maddison example again. Newcastle have a bad run in, miss out. We managed to.
I see your point. Yeah.
When he
got a better chance.
Surely him, as an individual, would say, well, Newcastle, who are they?
Europa Cup.
Who are they?
Tottenham Champions League.
So yeah, I thought I might as well go Champions League. You know, and just that alone makes me want to get top four. Not just also just the higher up you finish, the better. Yeah. It's better. I'd rather finish fourth than eighth, 10th, or even, just purely because it's just a better feeling, really. You know? Not that overall it feels that good at the moment.
I know I said one last question, but this is actually my last question. Only because you've been supporting Tottenham since '69, or you've been coming since '69. What's your fondest memory as a Spurs fan? Supporting the club. If you had to pick one moment, what made you just feel like, Tottenham, I love you. I just love you.
That is extremely difficult, and I would be there for hours with all the great times, and that some people think, what's he on? But possibly beating Wolverhampton Wanderers 3-0 at Highbury in the 1981 FA Cup semi-final replay And
Is that when Ricky Villa scored that long range?
yeah, and Garth Crooks got 2 in. And Spurs had like 3/4 of the ground, the whole north bank and everything. And at the end of the game, we poured onto the pitch and to be dancing around Highbury on their pitch, although it was obviously against Wolves. And we just got to Wembley, and to get to the cup final back then was massive.
Yeah.
Absolutely huge. And it was just like,
North London is ours.
yeah, absolutely awesome. There's many other moments, I've got to say. The relegation thing, which I mentioned earlier.
No, we only want the good ones.
But that was great. The atmosphere, the support of the fans, it kind of
getting relegated?
It weeded out all the glory hunters. And on that final day when we went down, there was, I think, about not even 30,000 in the old White Hart Lane, but the atmosphere.
What, of Tottenham going down?
Yes, yeah. We wasn't saying, we're happy that we're going down. What we were saying is, it's been coming. We knew it was coming. We had a very poor team.
Yeah.
We got a lot of bad beatings that year. But it was almost like a weight off the shoulders. We knew it was coming. It's finally come. What are we going to do about it? We're going to back this club forevermore. And the following season in the second division.
Oh, right, I see.
The following season,
Okay,
if you ask
I'm
people
with you now.
Yeah, of a certain age, what was their favourite ever season following Spurs? I mentioned the second division season, 77, 78. It was fantastic. Maybe it was because I was a young lad and I went to every single game home and away. I don't know.
Was it a moment in the history of the club for you as a fan where it just kind of unified more fans together a bit more?
We were so united, you wouldn't believe.
Yeah.
I can't remember any discontent when we went down. All I remember is fanatical support, pitch invasion, but in a positive sense.
What would happen now if we got relegated?
Well, I think at the very least someone would be putting a brick through the window here.
Another riot in Tottenham?
Yeah, possibly. But yeah, it would be so negative, and that's what bothers me in a way. The negativity around Tottenham is so disappointing. I understand, we've discussed various reasons.
Yeah.
But maybe it's just me living in the past. But back then, it was a different world, really. I think, and that's probably the key. It was different football landscape. And maybe I'm just, as I say, living in the past. Call it what you will.
Nah, you're a fan, mate.
And
you're a fan.
I've been through all of that, so I can't pretend it didn't happen. It was just a different time, really. Got relegated, and it was just an upward curve for about the next 5-10 years, winning the FA Cup, winning the UEFA Cup. Just amazing.
Good times.
Oh, absolutely awesome. Yeah. European trips here. Well, we do all that now, though. European trips every season.
Yeah.
So we can't, That's what I mean. Some clubs look at us and say, "Well, hang on, he was in the Champions League. You're fifth in the league. You're this. You're that."
Yeah, but then we also get called Spursy and bottle jobs, and that's the other side of it.
We never had that back.
That's the problem.
But that's the football landscape now with social media and so on. Everybody's always pointing the finger.
It's only us. It's only us that have got that name.
Yeah. But back then, it was like you had, because you didn't have all the social media. The only time you kind of maybe interact with other fans was at the games. Or maybe in your own personal life, or
down the pub,
at work or whatever. But generally speaking, it was at the games, and But
Nick,
as I say, overall, I've probably gone round in circles and sent a lot of people to sleep. But
you listen. Let me tell you something. You'll be surprised the amount of fans that want to listen and hear other fans talk, especially the fans from the 60s, 70s, 80s. They get so much love on the channel. When I put this video up, you'll see the comments saying, "Oh, big up Nick, what a legend." You wait and see. Yeah. It always happens. So
I might recognise. A few people might recognise me. Well, they don't look the same anymore.
Listen, guys, this is Nick. Nick, thank you so much. That went longer than what I wanted, but I loved it. Yeah. I loved every second.
Nice to speak to you.
If you want to have a say as well, if you want to join the protest, or if you just want to come and just have a say about what you think of the club, I'm outside the club shop each match day. People like Nick, people like me, come and have a word. Have a good one. Come on, you Spurs.
Up the Spurs.
Up the Spurs.